Hey guys, this is Bebe872 and this time we'll talk about the tier list and the meta playstyle for patch 13.1. Now, there has been some significant changes from patch 12.23b to 13.1. Mostly it became a more value focused meta than real focused meta. So you want to play into a value playstyle where you get units such as Misfortune, Fiddlesticks, Urgot, or maybe a mech set onto your composition. The reason behind this is because they buffed 4 and 5 costs significantly and nerfed almost every 1, 2, 3 cost. They actually nerfed every 1 to 3 cost in terms of like a value once you 3-star them. So let's get into the details of how you're supposed to survive in a meta like this. First of all, in a meta like this, you want to change your playstyle. So you want to make sure you go for strong stage 2 and maybe invest that late stage 3 or early stage like a 4 at level 7 or 8, at least 7. Optimizely, it would be better to like invest at 8. So you want to go for strong augments that will help you save HP with rerolling as little as possible. So augments like that will be stuff like Rich Get Richer, Knives Edge. Knives Edge is just an example of a combat augment that can help you, and True Twos, because True Twos gives you upgrades and econ at the same time. Now, going for a greed start into full econ or augments that are strong late game and not early, such as Celestial Blessing or Calm Mind, will destroy your HP during the early game and guarantee you nearly a 7th or 8th due to that disadvantage. So you do want to go for a strong augment early on, use that to save as much money and econ at the same time, and greed roll at level 7, optimally 8, if even luckier than 9, but usually you're going to all in at 8 for your 4 and 5 cost use in general. So after you change your playstyle into a much more value focused playstyle, you want to change the decks you want to go for. The 4 decks that I recommend in the current meta is going to be 4 Aces. Number 1, 4 Aces is really strong right now. Then Aux Force Renegades, number 2. And then Talon 3-star reroll. And then AP admins. These are the 4 compositions that I recommend the most in terms of like a battle power. And we're going to start with 4 Aces first. Now, 4 Aces are a very simple value tech. You want to greed eco and HP early so you can hit level 8. Once you find Mordekaiser, that's a go sign to add in 4 Aces. You want to itemize Misfortune first, then Mordekaiser. You do not itemize Samira here because Samira doesn't really do that much. If you have leftover 80 items, you can give them to Samira, but she's not that important of a unit to itemize. You want tank items and maybe AP items for Misfortune because that's what is really strong in the current meta. Then on the set, you just want anything that makes him like get more shield or healing value. Redemption, Dragon Claw, or like a Bloodthirsters all gives him a shield and healing value as well too. Of course, other itemizations like Bramble Vest, maybe Ionics and Sunfires can be okay too, but not that recommended. If you can't get a mech set as frontline, you can also use Zax, a bunch of like Zax as frontline too because they're also buffed and very strong. And after you found your like 4 Aces into some frontline, you can add in some value units like Fiddlesticks, Janna, or Urgot. That is how the 4 A's value tech work, and right now this deck is the strongest in the current meta at the moment, so very hard to deal with. Then we're going to look into Aux Force decks. Now, Aux Force decks are 6+ Aux Force. Of course, if you high roll, you can go for 8 Aux Force as well too. And you want to spat Misfortune. You can spat Misfortune, Velvet, and Zed, but usually Misfortune is the one you want to go for. And the best thing about Misfortune is that with Aux Force, you have enough attack speed. And if you have enough attack speed, you have enough mana to ult really fast, right? So you want to itemize like Jeweled Gauntlet, Aux Force Shojins, and like a GA at the same time. And Renegades for the extra like a damage and crit chance as well too. Usually this is how you want to do it. A late game, you want to replace your Fiora with a Vilius, and you want to replace your like a Camille with Leona. At level 8, you have 1 spot left. So you can like maybe fill that spot out with maybe Fiddlesticks or Nurgot, any value unit, or if you have a good admin, you can add an admin unit as well too. It's also a very strong value deck that I feel is consistent in the current meta. You can also itemize Viego in this comp as well too with Ionics, Bloodthirsters, Jewel Gauntlet, other AP hybrid damage itemizations. Renegades and Aux Force, very consistent. And another deck that I recommend, since Aux Force and Renegades are very consistent, and ever since Talon got buffed, I do recommend Talon Reroll in the current meta. Like right now it's a mech meta, so a lot of people are putting in mechs, so it's really hard if you can't assassinate the backline, but it's also really easy if you have a unit that can focus the enemy backline first. And I feel Talon is really good in the meta for that reason. You can ignore the mech in the front, and you can just jump to the backline, one-shot the backline, and then you can just slowly focus down the mech as well, right? So I do really recommend Talon Reroll, because I currently think this is the strongest real deck in the current meta at the moment, so it's pretty nice. Very like a well meta fit. And the next tech that I would recommend is admins, but admins are all about the admin bonus. Like, there are admin bonus that can give your Soraka or LeBlanc insane amount of stats. And there is also admin bonuses that can instantly charge the mana of your admin, so they can perma ult as well too. I will update this in future videos with a much more detailed list, but I will say admins are also a very viable right. So we got aces, we got Aux Force, we got renegades, we got admins. These synergies I think are the best in potential. Hope this video helped out. Hope it helps you guys like a client mostly. And I will see you guys next time. Just focus on learning the new playstyle, learn new decks, and I guarantee you'll have a good time. Have a nice day, guys.